in 25, but it didn't pass through. Yeah, but it didn't pass through Congress, and so every president since those have been put in place has waived those sanctions. But I don't think President Trump is going to sell military arms into Azerbaijan, knowing what's at afoot with Armenia.
What are your thoughts on that, Matthias?
Well, certainly my hopes. I mean, my hopes align with what Didi has said. The tweet or the post that Donald Trump put out in the campaign was very pointed, and he put it in a way that highlighted the 120,000 Christians that were forcefully removed from Nagorno-Karabakh. He made it very, very specific, and I think he means business. If we know Donald Trump, he means business, and he means to follow through with what his promises are. So I from my perspective, I'm very hopeful to see the pressure put on Azerbaijan, and to really bring stability and peace into that region. The Armenians want peace. The Armenian Christians want peace. They're ready to sign peace deals yesterday, the day before. The Aliyev regime is the one that continues to come up with bogus excuses as to why they cannot sign and make ridiculous demands of the Armenian government.
And they're holding prisoners still.
Yes.
They're holding prisoners of conscience in Azerbaijan.
We've only got a minute left. I did want to just add that another consideration for President Trump, I would hope, would be the fact that Turkey is actively engaged in genocidal activities elsewhere, notably in Syria at the moment, against Kurds and Christians, we're told. Yeah. Your insights into that problem?
Turkey needs to be held to account, finally. Absolutely. And I don't think that the Trump administration is ignorant about what the Turkish ambitions are. And they realize full well what Erdogan is attempting to do in the region. They want to project themselves as the great power in that region. Now is the time for Donald Trump and for this administration to really put the pressure on Turkey, just the way they did with Andrew Brunson when he was being held in prison. That's the same thing that needs to happen.
Didi, we have to leave it at that. I just want to conclude by saying that is one of the things that we at Save the Persecuted Christians are very actively championing, and that is hold the persecutors accountable, penalize them for what they're doing to create disincentives to it. Thank you both for your great work. Keep it up. We'll look forward to a report after the summit. God bless you. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Frank.
Well, I hope you'll come back to us next time, and that until then, you will go forth and multiply.
Messes happen every day in every way, but who wants to drag out a bulky vacuum? Introducing Horsepower Duck, a super compact vac with ultra-powerful suction. Watch as it effortlessly crushes this large bottle. This is a small but mighty duck, making it quick and easy to clean any mess. Just duck it up. The compact design can reach the tightest places. It's smaller than a water bottle, so store it in any drawer where it's always at your fingertips. Plus, it dumps out with ease, so it's ready to clean again.
I used to have to drag out this huge thing they call a portable vacuum cleaner. Now I keep the duck in my kitchen drawer and I clean up messes in 2 seconds.
The turbocharged motor is engineered to create a powerful vortex of suction, while the HEPA filter helps remove dust and allergens. We attach the duck to this tube, and the powerful suction lifts the water all the way to the top. Clean up that mess in the kitchen, the spill on the sofa, even sawdust and screws in the workshop. Plus, it's rechargeable. Got messy pets? Duck powerfully picks up pet hair from anywhere and cleans around that dish in a flash. You can even store it in your glove box for the ultimate car vac. Clean seats, the floor, and deep into those hard-to-reach places. Other bulky hand vacs sell for up to $150. But get the Horsepower Duck hand vac for just $39.99. Order right now and we'll upgrade you to the Duck Pro package, a $30 value, yours free. You get the bendable tube to get into tough spots like under appliances, the crevice nozzle to reach into those quacks and crevices, and the soft brush nozzle to vacuum gently with no scratches. You'll get the Duck with all the deluxe attachments, but supplies are limited, so there's a strict limit of 3 per order. This may be your last chance to get yours at this low, low price. So don't delay. Duck it up today.
To order, call 1-800-692-0144 or visit duckvac.com. So call 1-800-692-0144 or visit duckback.com. Order now.
Welcome back to this Real America's Voice News Break. I'm Terrence Bates. Thyroid disease, issues with your pituitary gland, any sort of hormonal imbalance. While your first call would likely be to an endocrinologist, well, there may be another alternative you want to consider.
Also, I had my thyroid removed from cancer in 2009. My pituitary gland is very compromised. I don't have a thyroid. And my endocrinologist told me that he thinks that my hypothalamus was also compromised. I think this is a miracle that I'm having results.
The results she's talking about are thanks to John Jubilee and his Energized Health Plan. John is here with us again this week to kick things off. So talk about how this plan works and how it literally can address pretty much every sort of health issue that may be out there, it seems.
Well, you know, Terrence, a lot of people that have a thyroid issue or a pituitary issue or hypothalamus, a lot of people might not even know what those are, Terrence, but it's kind of like if you went out to start your car and your engine is perfect, your transmission is perfect, your tires are perfect. But if your starter is broken, you're not going anywhere. That car is stuck in the driveway just because of one small part of that entire car, just the starter, doesn't work. You're not going anywhere. And that's kind of how it is with a lot of people with their health goals. If their pituitary's off, if their thyroid's off, if their hypothalamus is off, you don't have to be an endocrinologist to understand that, look, that triangulation, Terrence, of those three organs in the human body are what helps the body to metabolize fat. It tells the body what to do with the food that's coming into it. So it tells it to either use it as energy, but if they're not functioning the way they should, it says, you know what? I'm broken. We're just going to store that as fat. So a lot of times people that have tried every kind of diet out there, they don't even realize the root cause of the reason they keep gaining weight no matter what they do, how much they exercise, how much they diet. None of those things are going to work for them, Terrence, until they address the root cause, which is one of those three items. It's either the pituitary, the thyroid, or the hypothalamus. And the great news is we go to the root cause at Energized Health. When you're doing our scientific protocol, it's a patent-pending science, you're optimizing each one of those. And I love this client's testimony because you notice she actually had her thyroid removed, Terrence. So she doesn't even have a thyroid. And she still was able to lose fat, to get healthy at the cellular level, because the other two will actually subsidize what's missing. Even if you're missing a thyroid or a pituitary, you can still get healthy at the cellular level.
You know, you said the word root cause, and when you think of the body, the root in the body would be at the cellular level. And so it really does make sense.
No, it really is, Terrence. But again, imagine the frustration of somebody that they're eating the right diet, they're doing the right exercise, and they can't understand, well, how do I keep gaining fat? When I'm eating a perfect diet, I'm eating all organic, and I'm drinking my water, I'm doing my exercise. But if you don't go to the root cause to actually optimize those organs so that they tell the body what to actually do, it's sort of like, my grape and raisin analogy. I like to give people word pictures, and just imagine if your pituitary or your thyroid is shriveled up like a raisin, it's a raisin instead of a healthy grape. It just can't function and do what it's designed to do, which is to secrete the hormones that cause your body to metabolize fat.
All right. For people who are interested, energizedhealth.com is where they should go, and it's a fairly easy process.
No, look, it's super simple, guys. Listen, what really works is simple. There's a term in science called elegance. There's a simple elegance to doing things the right way, a simple way, simple, scientific, and sustainable.
Energizedhealth.com. Go there, be elegant, and get the information you need. Always good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you being here with us. Again, energizedhealth.com. Log on, look at some of the videos, and get the information, that you need. Appreciate you being here. Now, let's get you back to your regularly scheduled programming.
FBI calls it house stealing, the latest scam where a cyber thief transfers the title of your home out of your name and steals your hard-earned equity.
It's roughly 60 to 90 days for that person to even figure out that they're the victim of this crime. You start getting foreclosure notices, and you realize you've got 4 mortgages on your house that you didn't even know existed.
Unfortunately, it's on you to protect yourself. You might already be a victim. Check your title status now at HomeTitleLock.com.
America is celebrating the start of President Trump's second term. Now, for a limited time, you can get the Kid's Guide to President Trump and a limited edition collectible pin for free. Hurry, supplies are very limited. Visit freetrumpbundle.com now. That's freetrumpbundle.com.
Kevin paid off over $12,000 in credit card debt with the help of Consolidated Credit. They cut his interest rates and lowered his payments so he could pay off his debt fast. Call 800-596-8062 for a free consultation.
Live from the heart of America, I'm Steve Gruber. I am the voice you can trust out here in the wild west of disinformation and misinformation. I'm fighting for you for the foxhole freedom every day and giving you better analysis than anyone else in defending this great nation. It's the Steve Gruber Show. Good morning to you. Glad to have you here. Here are 3 big things you need to know to start this day. Number 1, the recovery efforts in the Potomac River are now focused solely on removing wreckage. This after announcements come that all 67 victims of the fatal crash between the commercial jet and the Army helicopter have been recovered. Number 2, both Bobby Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard able to get out of their respective committees, both headed to the full Senate for an up or down vote on confirmation to Donald Trump's cabinet. It looks positive, by the way, for both at this juncture. We'll see how it plays out. And number 3, what a Tuesday it was. What a Tuesday it was. There were multiple meltdowns by those on the left, including radical activists, left-wing media outlets, and, of course, Democrats. And then Donald Trump came along with an idea that nobody saw coming. The idea that America would take over the Gaza Strip. He made those comments last night with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. At an adjacent podium, they came together. First big visit to the White House since Donald Trump took over 2 weeks ago. So Bibi and Trump were out there, and here's what Donald Trump said. Listen.
The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different, just can't.
Yeah, there you have it. And it went on. Here's part of what he also said. I see bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent in a really magnificent area that nobody would know. Nobody can look because all they see is death, destruction, and rubble. So my question to you today is, what do you think of that? The United States owning the Gaza Strip. Now, I've put the question out on X this morning. If you'd like to jump on, follow me on my X account. The question is there, why the hell would we want Gaza? Because at a knee-jerk, it looks like we're injecting ourselves into the middle of the Middle East and all the problems that region has. But on the other side of it, there are arguments like this. Well, we've tried the same thing for 100 years. Or 200 or 500, and always ends up in war. Maybe it's time for something different. That's an argument. Maybe a pretty decent one. Another one is the proximity it would have to striking places like Iran or any other enemies we might have in the Middle East. I can see that. Creating something better. Stop pouring in American money into the Middle East like we've done my entire life. There's that. My good friend Jake Novak over at Real America's Voice said, hey, we basically already bought it with all the money we've put in there. It's like a bankruptcy sale. Hey, by the way, to the creditors, here's your gift. All right, I can see that argument. But I do need to know more. What's the real plan here? At a time when USAID is under scrutiny from Doge and Elon Musk and all the budget cutters saying, what the hell are you guys spending money on? Which, by the way, I've got a list here. We'll get to that. It makes me wonder what the plan is for Gaza. Obviously, this is not so. Look, I've watched Donald Trump long enough to know this. He didn't just pull that out of his pile of notes last night. Something that's been discussed and talked about, and you can see Bibi Netanyahu has no reaction whatsoever. He just watches. He knew this was coming. He knows this has been discussed. Sounds like it's been discussed with partners in Jordan and Egypt as well, based on some of the other comments there. Donald Trump has a plan here. He also knows how to create the art of the deal. Maybe it's not what he wants, but you way overstake your position. You go way out here. Boom. But what you want is actually back here. Not sure yet. I'll keep an eye on it. But I have learned to not jump to conclusions with Donald Trump and think, well, that seems a little bit wild. And then you realize, man, that was perfect. I mean, how many times has he gone out there and said something or made a promise, and you go, thought to yourself, well, that's too far. That can't happen. And then, boom, it's exactly what happens. Or he makes a claim that you think, wow, I wonder if that's true. And then, boom, it's exactly true. We've watched this for 10 years now. What I'm saying is do not underestimate the boss. Do not underestimate President Donald Trump. But I'm also saying I want more details. I want to know what this looks like. Flesh this out for me. Explain what you mean. This is going to be, and here we go, Wednesday. You had a flurry of executive orders in action on Monday. A lot more action on Capitol Hill on Tuesday. And because he did this last night, you're starting the news cycle with this on fire for Wednesday. It's every day of the Trump administration. Every single day things are getting done. And doesn't it seem as if we've accomplished more in just over 2 weeks, well, than we saw Joe Biden accomplish in an entire term, which was basically nothing except undermining America. But Donald Trump is projecting American strength, whether it's demanding deals with Canada and Mexico, Panama and Venezuela, or Colombia, and demanding a deal that we stop the endless wars in the Middle East. Donald Trump is projecting American strength on the world stage in a way that we have not seen in a very long time, not even during his first administration, I think it's safe to say. Donald Trump, as they say, came in loaded for bear. He knows who's around him, and by the way, more of those seats keep getting filled. I do believe Tulsi Gabbard will be there shortly. Bobby Kennedy will be there shortly after they got out of their committees. Donald Trump came in as a veteran, not as a rookie, a veteran who was not given his second term in sequence. So he had a lot of time to consider the options, a lot of time to consider who would be on his team, a lot of time to consider what's going on in the world and in this country and how to deal with it, the way he wants to deal with it, not the way somebody else wants to deal with it, not the way Chuck Schumer wants to deal with it, or some of the ninnies on the left, or AOC squealing like a smashed cat. He doesn't care about any of that. So again, go to my Twitter account, my X account, if you will. Weigh in on the question, why the hell would we want Gaza? You've given me some great answers so far. Follow me there as well, and every place else. Rumble, Substack, get on my YouTube channel. We're growing this thing. I'm doing it with you. I'll be right back.
This is our last chance to help save thousands of Holocaust survivors who are suffering in the former Soviet Union today. The needs that these forgotten Jews have are something beyond anything you can imagine.
Have you eaten this morning?
I ate the carrot, so I ate half of it yesterday, and I had it today for breakfast. And this is what she ate in 2 days, 1 carrot. Please pray for me.
The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews began this ministry to help elderly Jews living in horrible poverty around the world. We urgently need your gift of $25 now to help provide 1 survival food box with all of the foods they critically need for their diet for 1 month.
I am very proud to partner and align with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. This trusted ministry is giving Christians like me a way to bless elderly Jewish people who live in extreme poverty around the world.
I believe in God, but I sometimes feel maybe He forgot me. Perhaps you could tell my story, and I would find a matching soul that would understand. I face hunger again.
Please don't delay. Call, scan, or go online now to help rush 1 survival food box to a Holocaust survivor who is suffering and in desperate need.
This is what God wants from us. Just feed the hungry.
If you hear God's voice, I'm asking you to act now. Do it when it's on your heart. I pray that they'll know in their final months that they're not alone.
Who wants to drag out a bulky vacuum? Introducing Horsepower Duck, a super compact vac with ultra-powerful suction. Clean up that mess in the kitchen, the spill on the sofa, even sawdust in the workshop. Just duck it up. The compact design can reach the tightest places, so store it in any drawer where it's always at your fingertips. You can even store it in your glove box for the ultimate car vac. The HEPA filter helps remove dust and allergens. Plus, it dumps out with ease, so it's ready to clean again. Get the Horsepower Duck hand vac for just $39.99. Order right now and we'll upgrade you to the Duck Pro package, a $30 value, yours free. You get the bendable tube, the crevice nozzle, and the soft brush nozzle, but supplies are limited, so there's a strict limit of 3 ducks per order. This may be your last chance to get yours at this low price, so don't delay. Duck it up today.
Call 1-800-693-3440 or visit duckback.com. So call 1-800-693-3440 or visit duckback.com now.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Call now and get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. And if you call right now, as a bonus, we'll throw in a free annuity rate report. Don't miss out on this opportunity because supplies are limited. Both books are yours free, just for calling Annuity General today.
Call 800-899-6246.
All right, new question here as we go, because it occurs to me, and I want you to weigh in on this. This occurs to me as I'm in the break, and I want to know what your answer is to this. All right? What are you going to call it? You're not going to call it the Gaza Strip, of course. No, is it going to be the Trump Strip? Trumpland? Trumptopia? What's it going to be? Get you to weigh in on that, too. I just posted that question on my X account. What are we going to call it? Trumpzilla? Yeah. Let me know your thoughts. By the way, of all the meltdowns, and there'll be plenty on this today, I can assure you, of all the meltdowns before this, by those on the left, including radical activists, left-wing media outlets, and of course Democrats, nothing has lit their hair on fire quite like the pause of the spending of the USAID, United States Agency of International Development, which most people thought that meant, feeding the poor and the hungry out there and putting them in houses and so forth and making sure they had fresh water. None of that's true, by the way. Well, part of that's true, a little bit. But really, they are an agency of subterfuge. You think they're doing one thing, but really they're doing a whole bunch of other things. And the agency had been refusing and has refused for years to disclose how it spends the money, and gone so far as to flat out refuse to respond to members of Congress. We're not going to answer your questions. You're just members of Congress. People like Senator Joni Ernst say trying to figure out where USAID spent billions of dollars has been a game of hide and seek forever. But this is the first time the curtain has been ripped back. Here's what she said.
I have been on USAID's case for years now, going back several years, where I was trying to investigate the expenditures for humanitarian aid, primarily when it came to the war in Ukraine. And what my team and I encountered was absolute obstruction and lies coming out of USAID. They did everything possible to stop me from accessing their records to understand where our taxpayer money was going. I eventually partnered with Representative Mike McCall in the House, and we started a formal congressional investigation. And even after that, they really pushed back, only allowed us access to a small amount of data. But what we found was extreme expenditures on the part of USAID with very little data-driven results. We have seen money funded in the Wuhan Institute of Virology through dollars steered by USAID on dangerous coronaviruses. We saw how that turned out. We've seen funding going to Morocco for pottery classes, tourism in Lebanon, of all places, even when the State Department was advising against travel. I could go on and on and on.
Man, I've got more too. I've got more too. But I can't get off this naming thing for Gaza. I'm a little stuck here. Maybe it should be Trumpistan. And it can't be Trump land, because what are you going to name Greenland when you take that over? If you already use the term Trump land over here, then Trump land can't be used over here, you see. If you acquire too much property, how many Trump names can you come up with? You see. just trying to sort this out for you. I want to be on the same page and know what we're calling this place. Trumpistan has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Anyhow. Some of the things that are caught attention of the Trump administration and DOJ, you have to wonder what those things are, led by Elon Musk. He's tasked with ending wasteful spending. And by the way, Joni started with a pretty good list there. Let me continue here. Transgender opera in Colombia, $47,000, because you need transgender opera in the nation of Colombia. Transgender comic books in Peru, that was $32,000. Ice skating drag queens for climate awareness. $10,000 for that. You know, the Democrats keep saying this didn't happen, but it did. There was $50 million there for, it was on the books for condoms in Gaza, or Trumpland, or Trumplandia, or Trumpistan, whatever we're going to call it going forward. And that was on the books. It didn't get spent. So the Democrats, that never happened. Well, it didn't happen because we stepped in and said, hey, that's the dumbest thing we've seen today. Stop it. So it didn't happen. Sex changes in Guatemala. Chop and drop. USAID spent $2 million to support transgender-led organizations and gender transition surgeries. Yeah, we paid for Guatemalan children to be butchered. Aren't you proud? Breakdancing initiatives, because that's what we need. Let's see. LGBT activism worldwide. Global Virome Project to study viruses which some conspiracy theories have connected to the origins of COVID-19. They're conspiracy theories. And this, by the way, I got this list from Grok. Hey, Grok, give me the most outrageous things USAID funded. And this is the list. Cuban Twitter, Zunio, a secretive project costing $1.2 million aimed at creating a social media platform to undermine the Cuban government. We paid for Sesame Street in Iraq, $20 million there. You know, I can make little Muppet things for less than $20 million. I'm just saying. And how else have we wasted your money? Well, let's see here. Afghan army uniforms, $250 billion to fraud and errors. Yeah. It's never ending. This is the United States International Development Agency for International Development. It just never ends. Well, it ends now, actually. You know, but to hear the Democrats tell it, putting a 90-day freeze, that's what this is, a 90-day freeze on USAID and saying, hey, show us your books, is unconstitutional. And some like Bill Gates go to full-blown panic mode, claiming millions will die. If you pause spending for USAID, millions will die. Seems Democrats are gobbling up the propaganda, trying to convince anyone who will listen that stopping the spending of around $40 billion, and that's the other thing, nobody's really sure. I've seen estimates from $28 billion to over $50 billion. How much money does this place get? Anyhow, it's the most awful thing you can imagine, stopping the spending while we figure out what we're spending our money on. Anyhow, what are we going to call Gaza? Go to my Twitter feed, my X account, and say, hey, is it Trumpland, Trumplandia, Trumpenstein, Trumpistan? What's it going to be called? All right. I look forward to your responses because they're going to be fun after the break here on the Steve Gruber Show.
It's time to get your dream kitchen at Cabinets to Go.
Right now, save on every single cabinet in your design. Up to $175 off per cabinet. Come in today and get your dream kitchen for just $148 per month.
Cabinets to Go. Wow for less.
Allegiance Flag Supply believes American flags should be made in America.
Our symbol of freedom made outside our borders, that did not sit right.
Join us in our mission to keep the American flag truly American. Don't settle for flags made elsewhere.
Every flag is proudly crafted in the USA with superior materials.
Visit showallegiance.com to order your high-quality, made-in-America flag today. That's showallegiance.com.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615.
All right, so here's some Trumpopolis. All right, Trumpopolis. The MAGA strip. That's not bad, the MAGA strip. Maza. Short for Mar-a-Lago in Gaza. Gaza, America. Gaza of Freedom. An amazing golf course, an amazing name. The Gaza Riviera. Here's one for you. How about, I got this one for you. How about Trumpelstiltskin? Trumpelstiltskin. Yeah. Utrumpia. How about Utrumpia? All right, Utrumpia. Tramerica.
Trumpelvania.
Trumpelvania. Not bad. See? What are we going to call the...
See what happens when you get me thinking?
Yeah, but there you go. I love it. Anyhow, you can weigh in on my Twitter feed. Please do. Give me your best name. What are we going to rename Gaza? What is the new name of Gaza? That should be my question of the day. Let's see here. Who is to win today? How about my great friends at Hillsdale College making this program possible today? I wonder what they would name Gaza. Time is our most precious commodity. You guys ask me all the time, what can I do, Steve, to enhance my understanding of America, to help my kids and grandkids? Well, here is the answer. Hillsdale College offers more than 40 free online courses. That's right, more than 40 free online courses. You can learn about the works of C.S. Lewis, the stories in the book of Genesis, the meaning of the U.S. Constitution, the real meaning, the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, or the history of the ancient Christian church, with Hillsdale College's free online courses. Personally, I enjoy the Genesis story. It's a book of fundamental importance for both the Jewish and Christian faith and has exerted a profound influence on Western civilization. You know that. In addition to being a great religious text, it is also a literary masterpiece. Sign up for the Genesis story right now. Learn some of the major works' narrative themes. You can find all of these things at gruberforhillsdale.com. It's free. Share with your kids and grandkids. gruberforhillsdale.com. You can be the smartest guy at the next get-together. gruberforhillsdale.com. I'll be right back.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces?
I think as my hearing loss has gotten worse, I'm not as engaging as I was before.
Then it might be time to consider nano hearing aids. The days of expensive hearing aids are over. Recent changes in the law have allowed for over-the-counter hearing aids sold direct and shipped to your home, which means no more having to go to a doctor and spend thousands.
The fact that you're able to go direct, the pricing was phenomenal. It just was a win-win all the way around.
Nano hearing aids are incredibly affordable and deliver outstanding high-quality volume with superior noise reduction.
When you put nanos in your ears, it truly amazes me that you can hear so much better.
Don't mistake nanos for cheap amplifiers. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. They are lightweight and simple to use, and their tiny in-ear design makes them nearly invisible. And best of all, they are rechargeable, saving you hundreds of dollars on batteries.
They are so small and so powerful. Just makes my life so much better.
Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Order now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $397. You get a free portable charging case, a $79 value, free 24/7 lifetime telephone support, and free shipping. Plus, all Nanos come with a 45-day money-back guarantee. Try them, and if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
Just so easy, so affordable. Just go ahead and do it.
Nano hearing aids are only $397. But wait, we are so confident you are going to love your Nanos, we are offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Order now and you'll get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. Call and order your Nano hearing aids right now and get all the benefits of being able to hear again without having to spend thousands.
Call 800-226-2107. That's 800-226-2107.
It's the incredible Red Dog, the amazing universal socket tool that fits, grips, and tightens virtually any fastener. Look at all the different sizes and shapes, nuts, bolts, and screws. Any head will do. Red Dog grabs on tight and locks into place fast. It replaces hundreds of different tools, yet it's smaller than a battery. 54 telescoping steel pins mold around any object. Then, up to 150 pounds of torque, knock out rusted fasteners. You can get Red Dog for just $19.99. Breaking news: Red Dog may be discontinued. Due to supply chain shortages, Red Dog is stopping manufacturing immediately. There's a strict limit of 3 per order while supplies last. Order now.
Call 1-800-709-3169. That's 1-800-709-3169 or visit byreddog.com. Call 1-800-709-3169 now.
I am very entertained this morning by all of you. Trump-Batistan. How about that for the new name of Gaza? Trump-Batistan. I've got everybody weighing in, giving your names for what we're going to name Gaza now that Donald Trump says America's taking over Gaza. I need more details on this, but in the meantime, let's name the place, shall we? What's the new name for Gaza? You get to weigh in, and it's a beautiful thing. Do that on my X account, and you too can be here. And by the way, Gruberland, I think, is one of them that was on there. I think that's the best yet. But Trumpistan, Trump-Batistan, I think, is the best one that I've seen. It humors me greatly. Joining me now is Jim Nels, a supply chain consultant based in Chicago, has served as a chief procurement officer and a supply chain expert for multiple companies. He is here to weigh in on Donald Trump, Malay, Orban, this conservative resurgence worldwide, also Giorgia Meloni in Italy, and there are others that can be named as well. Jim, nice to have you back.
Thank you for having me. And I think we're missing the most obvious name. What about the Gaza Strip Mall?
The Gaza Strip Mall. Not bad, Jim. See, everybody's playing. What are we naming this place? Everybody's got a name. It's beautiful. All right, the Gaza Strip Mall. Anyhow, with the Trump Tower, of course.
Of course.
Look, my whole day I was going to talk about the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. I was going to spend my time there because the liberals' hair is on fire. And you've got Bill Gates out there. Oh, my God. Millions are going to die. If we pause spending for just 5 minutes, millions are going to die. Would you stop it, Bill? I mean, nobody buys that. Anyhow, here's an agency who has basically thumbed its nose at the whole government of the United States, saying, we'll spend the money however we want. We don't have to tell you anything. And they think we're independent. No, you get oversight, and now they're getting it, and boy, do they not like it. And you see the money they spend. Crazy stuff. And I'm going to spend my time there, but it is something we've talked about for a long time, and that is this global effect of Trump. And it is Milei, and it is Orban, and it is Maloney. And Bukele down there in El Salvador saying, hey, you want to fill up our prisons with illegals? We'll take a small nominal fee and we'll do it. I mean, everybody's playing ball, aren't they?
Yeah, everyone is playing ball with Trump now, and we're really seeing this movement. That's why you're seeing things like in Canada, Justin Trudeau is out the door. You're seeing things in Great Britain where conservative parties are gaining traction. Even in France, where Le Pen's program has done very, very well. So we're seeing a shift, and I think it's because people are sick and tired of things just like this USAID. If you're a single mom who can't afford to fill her car with gas to drive to work and can't afford to feed her kids, do you really care about a transgender opera in Colombia, and that's where your tax dollars are going? That is absolutely insane. The American people finally decided that they were sick of it, and Trump is doing exactly what he said he would do, and that's why we're seeing all of these countries fall into line. Trump has a new foreign policy, FAFO, and I think it's working incredibly well so far.
Yeah, the foreign policy of FAFO. That's it. There's the foreign policy. And that's why, I was sitting there listening last night when he's there with Bibi. And Trump makes this announcement that the United States is going to take over Gaza, that we're going to own it. And Bibi's just looking at him. And I can't tell if it's a poker face or if they knew this ahead of time. Apparently, from what I'm understanding, there have already been conversations with Egypt and Jordan, Israel. This was not some surprise for Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't know how he feels about it exactly, but it was not a surprise. That's why he was the first foreign head of state to come to the White House, was to lay out this plan to bring peace to the Middle East. Now, I learned a long time ago, do not underestimate Donald Trump's ability to get something done, no matter how crazy it might sound on the front end, right? Don't dismiss that, right?
You're absolutely right. And if you think about it, it's not really surprising that the U.S. is going to be the one who has to take this over. No one wants the Gaza Strip. Israel left it a long time ago, tried to give it away to Syria, to Egypt, to Jordan, and everyone said, no, you keep it. We don't want it. We don't want to have to deal with the headache. So Trump is like, okay, it's just a land development project. I'm pretty good at that. So we'll go in there. We'll take it over. We'll fill it with beautiful golf courses and McDonald's and all those things. And the people there will have jobs and they won't be terrorists anymore. It'll be fun.
Yeah. How about, I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted. Here's another new name. Area 47. All right. Yeah, I have the best listeners and viewers in the world, Jim. I do. And they're giving me some great names, and I think Area 47 is spectacular. Anyhow, look, I'm having a hard time keeping up with Donald Trump every day. Executive orders yesterday, I had a list of them here, and I've set them aside. One of those is basically saying to every federal agency, figure out how to deal with Iran so they can never have a nuclear weapon. It's a memo, not an executive order. But that's just one example of a whole list of things that he signed yesterday. It's every single day, Jim. We're just entering our third week here. It's every single day. It's breakneck pace. It's Donald Trump delivering on his promises in ways I never even thought we would get to this pace. It's remarkable for the news media to keep up, and we're not the ones doing it. He is. He is a machine.
It is remarkable, and for someone who writes articles about what's going on in the administration, it's extremely frustrating for me because the article is out of date as soon as I hit send on it. But, seriously, what he's doing is fantastic. He's doing exactly what he said he would do. And the best part for me watching this as a third party is that the left doesn't know what to be upset about at any given moment because things are moving so fast. It's USAID. It is the deal with Panama. It is now going to be the Gaza Strip, or the Gaza Strip Mall, as I now like to call it. So all these things, no one knows what to be upset about. They're even upset now that he's going to the Super Bowl. There was an op-ed in USA Today where the person's like, the Super Bowl is a time to come together and Trump is going to be divisive. I'm like, well, aren't you the one being divisive by saying that it's divisive? Why not just say, hey, this is great, the president's going to go there and be part of this for everybody to see? But the point being, no one knows how to react on the left because he's moving at such breakneck speed. and things are happening, things are going well. And you can feel it, Steve. You can feel it in America right now. People are excited. They're happy. It feels a lot like when Reagan took over for Carter in 1981.
In fact, that's what I'm saying. When Reagan took over for Carter, there was a lot of work, but it kind of ramped up, right? This is not ramp up. This is Tommy gun. I mean, it's just like, get out of the way. It's like kicking in the door. Here's what's going on. You're out, you're in. Take care of that. Fix that. Look, it's different.
He's got to get 2 terms in 4 years is what he's going to do because of how fast he's moving.
Well,
we'll get 8 years worth of work in 4 years.
Correct. Anyhow. Okay. Where do we go from here then? What's next? Would anything surprise you at this point, Jim? Anything at all?
Well, I'm sure that we'll have Canada as a 51st state, and Greenland will be incorporated into the United States as a territory by lunchtime.
By the way, that's why Gaza cannot be called Trump land, because Greenland needs a name. It's going to be Trump land. Just so we're clear. Go ahead.
Well, no, that's why we're going to go with Area 47. I think that's the best name for it so far. But you know, if you look at what's happening, look at what's going on. The Army set recruiting records since Hexteth has been confirmed as the Secretary of Defense. Things are happening. I think, in all seriousness, Trump is going to continue to work on the deportation, getting folks out of here. He's going to work on cutting regulations and energy independence so that we can get the economy going where it should be, where it was in 2019 before COVID destroyed the economy. And we're going to see the American people celebrate and prosper like never before.
I hope you're right. Greatly appreciate that. All right. Jim Nels, greatly appreciate you. We'll keep watching Donald Trump and keep weighing in and making notes along the way. Thank you, Jim. We'll talk soon.
Have a good one, Steve. Thank you.
There you have it. All right. Area 47. I might be the best. I don't know. I'll be right back.
Anybody who owns property should worry about home title theft. There's no other crime that is so easy, so quick, and so lucrative.
Your home, your equity, and your peace of mind can all be stolen in one fell swoop by home title thieves like Matthew Cox.
Nobody thinks that I can take their house. Nobody thinks that.
Believe it or not, a single-page document is all it takes to transfer proof of ownership out of your name.
People think there's a whole huge process, but the truth is, it's a one-page document.
But it still must get through one final barrier, the county clerk.
When someone comes in with a fraudulent deed, if it's notarized and all the spaces are filled in, we by statute have to accept it. We cannot give it back to them and say, we know this is fraudulent, we're not going to file it. That's against the law.
It's public records. It's a recording system. They don't make a phone call, they record it, that's all they do.
Bottom line is, yes, it happens, and we can't stop it from happening, and it only takes once for it to sting you, and it's a very sad thing to watch.
You've put your love into the house, and all of a sudden, it might not be yours. It's a devastating crime.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock will monitor your title nonstop, alerting you to suspicious activity.
If you can get a warning notice that this first step has happened, you can stop the rest.
This person from somewhere in New York stole our property. So I was surprised. I talked to my father about it. He advised me that he had taken out Home Title Lock about 8 months earlier. We logged into Home Title Lock. He had 5 alerts. Immediately we contacted them, and within about 2 weeks, the deed was put back in my parents' name.
If you give us a call right now and mention promotional code LOCKIT, we'll give you your first 30 days of protection absolutely free.
Home Title Lock lived up to every promise they made.
Go online or call now, 1-800-493-1175, and sign up today.
Stay tuned to get a free automatic toilet bowl cleaner from Mermaid. Your sink stopper's broken, and fixing a drain is a pain. Introducing Mermaid Drain Magic, the instant solution to most broken drains. Just remove and replace. In seconds, you can fill and drain with a simple press of a button. Drain Magic makes replacing your old, broken, rusty, even missing sink stoppers fast and easy. Drain Magic's anti-clogging basket helps prevent clogs in your sink, catching hair, food, even jewelry. Made with brass and chrome, chrome and a silicone gasket, it creates a watertight seal. Order your Mermaid Drain Magic today for only $19.99 and get a Mermaid Toilet Bowl Cleaner absolutely free. Drop it in the tank for up to 3 months of cleaning. But wait, this could be your last chance to get Drain Magic at this low price with free toilet bowl cleaner. There's a strict limit of 3, so order now.
Call 1-800-519-4303 or visit getdrainmagic.com. So call 1-800-519-4303 or visit getdrainmagic.com. Order now.
All right, we'll get to the serious part of the conversation in just a moment here. Dr. Ben Tapper joining me from the Wellness Company to discuss some serious things like USAID and how Bill Gates says millions are going to die. Ben, nice to see you. Good to have you here as always.
Good morning.
We'll get to that, but first the question of the day, now that we know that Donald Trump wants to have Gaza Strip and wants to own it for America, as we learned last night. What are we going to call it? What are we going to call it? Here's some of the answers already. Area 47, Trump-Batistan, and Trumptopia. I'll let you think about it. If you got the answer, you got to name the thing, right?
Right. I mean, there's got to be Trump in the name. I mean, there's something there. I think that Trump, I don't know, Trump 47 is my vote. I like that.
I like that. Area 47. Anyhow, all right. In all seriousness, USAID, I can't figure out how much money they have. 28 billion? 50 billion. It depends on where you look for your source. It'll tell you. But I know they're spending money on transgender opera in Colombia and transgender comic books in Peru. And yet Bill Gates goes out on The View yesterday and says if you suspend spending from USAID, all these tens of billions of dollars, millions of people are going to die. I mean, come on.
Right.
Does Bill Gates take a day off from the histrionics ever?
Right. I mean, Bill Gates is not our friend. I don't know when people are going to wake up and realize that. I mean, he touts that he's a philanthropist, but he is not a friend of the American people. And again, with the USAID, I think, Ron Paul, I stand with him. I mean, he said audit USAID. And I think, people are going to realize that we are spending money in these crazy areas that we shouldn't be spending. The American people are suffering for this. And where's all that money coming from? It's coming from us, out of our pockets, and we just need to shut it down.
Yeah, that's what Ron Paul said. Audit it and then shut it down. It was a two-punch deal for Ron Paul. You're exactly right. So, on the other side of that coin, we've got, and I'm proud to report today that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. made it out of committee. Basically, it was on a company line vote, 14-13, but he got out, which means he's going to the floor of the Senate. I think he gets confirmed. Good news or bad news?
I mean, it's good news. I stand behind Bobby Kennedy and what he stands for, especially, his life's work. What he is going against here is not just these crazy liberal Democrats. He's going against private interest. And it's very apparent and obvious that, Elizabeth Warren and these people are against him. And look at, again, their contributions. He is going against Big Pharma. He's standing in the gap here, and he truly cares for health. And he's trying to combat chronic disease. I mean, look at the elephant in the room here. The American people are sick more now than ever before. 80% of Americans are suffering with a chronic disease. I mean, heart disease is at an all-time high. And Americans taking more pharmaceutical drugs than the rest of the world combined. When is enough enough? We need to change this paradigm and move away from this paradigm that we're in. There is massive corruption around this, and they are terrified of Bobby Kennedy getting into this position. So thank the Lord that he won he got past the Senate Financial Committee here, which 14-13, and so he's got to go to the Senate floor to get confirmed. But I do think it's a good thing.
I think he's going to make it. I think it's going to be close. I think he's going to make it. One of the things that he said, and he said a lot of things that have stuck in my mind, and I don't agree with him on a whole host of issues, but on what we eat and making sure that vaccines are properly tested and their efficacy is proven, that's important. But what he said was the most valuable asset is a sick child. The most valuable asset in America in 2024, when he said it, is a sick child, because the pharmaceutical companies, like you just said, here's a pill for this, here's a pill for that. How about an injection? And it just goes on forever. And if they're sick as a child, you can milk that for the rest of their lives. How sad. I don't want pills and injections. I want to be healthy.
Amen.
Right?
Amen. And that's what it's all about. Really, if you look at the integrity of Big Pharma, they don't want to really cure disease. They want to manage it. And that's the problem. And so that's what we're seeing now. It's a sick care model. And that's the model that needs to be, eradicated. We need to move away from that. Thank God for the doctors and nurses in our field today, because, and when it comes to emergency care or crisis care, they are the masters of that operation. They are the masters of emergency care and crisis care. But when it comes to true wellness and prevention, these doctors are missing the mark, and we're neglecting that. And that's really where it focuses on lifestyle. We need to move away from this sickness model into a wellness model, which is focused on lifestyle choices and good food choices. We need to eat well, move well, think well, and we can be well. Again, Big Pharma doesn't want you, they don't profit when we're well. They don't profit when we're healthy. They profit when we are sick. And that's why the average person over 65 is on 13 plus medications. I mean, these pills are not there to really cure disease. They're there to palliate a poor lifestyle and really manage disease.
Exactly. It's time to get healthy from the beginning. That means taking the garbage out of our food, making sure that we don't have to go get a pill or an injection. That's really the foundation. And by the way, at the wellness company, there's a whole idea is your general wellness and well-being. It's a funny thing to me, Ben. When you went to medical school, you probably were not taught a lot about nutrition, if anything. Most doctors are not. And to me, that's shocking, because the old adage from the 80s and 90s, garbage in, garbage out, apply to computers, but it applies to my human body too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, everything is related. I mean, so, we're fed by the food industry, which pays no attention to health, and the health industry doesn't pay attention to food. So there's a real disconnect there.
Yeah.
It's really lifestyle, going back to lifestyle, and all disease starts with toxicity and deficiency, and we need to move away from that into purity and sufficiency.
Yeah, the wellness company, they also have these great medical kits, by the way. I've got one here for those of you watching on streaming. These are the gold standard, the emergency kit, the contagion kit, first aid kit, travel kit. There's all these kits available. Plus, they have prescriptions, so you can get the supplements you need. And the spike protein supplement, real quickly, tell the folks about that. I'm told it's the best there is.
Well, on the market, it's a nattokinase, so it's basically an anti-clotting supplement that helps cleanse the blood, detoxify the blood. Right now the number one cause of disease is cardiovascular issues, and so the spike support, whether you've been vaccinated or not, it's going to help detoxify the body. There's antioxidants, there's dandelion root selenium in this, and so there is a real thing with cardiovascular issues, myocarditis, associated with this vaccine, and I do believe it sheds and causes problems.
Yeah.
So the spike support from the wellness company is one of the best in the market, and I think that if you've been vaccinated or not vaccinated, I think we should all be on that supplement.
Find out more at twc.health. TWC, that's the wellness company, twc.health/Gruber. If you use the promo code Gruber, you can save 10% today on anything you find there. Dr. Ben Tapper, always appreciate talking to you, sir. Thank you for being here.
Yep, thanks, Steve.
There you have it, twc.health/Gruber. Go there today and get healthy. Don't pay the bills for the pharmaceutical industry. Go to twc.health/Gruber. Get healthy. I'll be right back.
Here at Allegiance, we feel like American flags should be made in America.
When we started Allegiance, we were shocked to learn how many American flags were actually being made overseas.
Every flag we make is proudly crafted in the USA with superior materials.
Join us in our mission to keep the American flag truly American.
Visit showallegiance.com to order your high-quality American flag today. That's showallegiance.com.
I'm Richard Karn, and I love my hose. My hose is lightweight. Oh, no. My hose will not kink. Come on. And my hose is anti-leak. It ain't those old hoses. This is my hose. The new Pocket Hose Copper Bullet, now infused with real copper, so your water is always clean and lead-free. Just turn on the water and watch your hose grow and grow to a full-size 3/4-inch hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking and squeezing that water out until it's practically bone dry. And that makes it easy to carry and put away. Our new inner tube uses 3 layers of high-strength latex on the inside. Then it's wrapped in a new polymer filament jacket, similar to the technology used in forest fire hoses because it's light and tough. 3 times stronger than the other hoses. It's guaranteed for 10 years. Nearly impossible to tear or snag. And the redesigned connector protector helps stop leaks at the spigot. But my favorite part of our new hose build? The oversized, easy-to-grip fittings. Easy on and off, even with gloves. With more than 100 patents worldwide, it's the best pocket hose in the world. Get the super light 25-foot pocket hose copper bullet today for only $29.99. But wait, call now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn off and on. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. It's a $30 value, yours free with every 50-foot copper bullet. But it's not available in stores. This is an exclusive release of our newest pocket hose. There is a strict limit of 3 per order, so don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-448-0876 or visit copperbullethose.com. So call 1-800-448-0876 or visit copperbullethose.com. Order now.
All right, question of the day. What are we going to call Gaza going forward? That is the question of the day. I've gotten some great answers. Area 47 seems to be a popular one. I think that's garnering some support. If we're going to do some percentages here as to what's going to win. Here's another little headline we'll be digging deeper into in the next hour. 20,000 federal employees, 20,000, have said yes to the buyout. Hey, I'm out of here. I'll take your 8-month paycheck and leave. That's a good way to reduce the federal payroll by 20,000 so far. Of course, there's 2 or 3 million people on the payroll in D.C. I'd have to have the exact number, but all right, you take 20,000. That's all positive. It's all positive. You start taking some of these other things off the list. I asked Rock the 10 most wasteful government expenditures so far. It put the F-35 fighter jet at the top. Cost exceeding $1 trillion with significant delays, cost overruns, despite the technological advancements. Reconstruction of Afghanistan, $16 billion. And including projects like the unfinished hotel in Kabul that never opened. That's your money. Billions of dollars being spent and it never even opened. NASA's Space Launch System, SLS, $20 billion. Not done yet. The unused border wall materials. Now, I blame this one on Joe Biden, $17 billion. Unspent materials down there on the border wall. It was saved, by the way, by Governor Abbott, and it's being reapplied now. So we do have that going for us. Anyhow, in the next hour, Grover Norquist will be here. We're going to talk about